She used to be an actress.
She ever do anything I would have saw?
I think her biggest deal was she started a pilot.
What's a pilot?
Well, you know the shows on TV.
I don't watch TV.
Yeah, but you are aware that there's an invention called television, and on that invention, they show shows?
Yeah.
Well, the way they pick those shows on TV is they make one, and then they show those called pilots. And they show that one show to the people who pick shows. On the strength of that one show, they decide what they want to make more shows. Some get accepted and become TV programs, and some don't, and they become nothing. I think she started the one that became nothing.
It's fine. You did fine.
I'll do better next time.
Are we going to continue that?
No, I don't like that. I
didn't like it.
It says shows too many times.
It does say show a lot. Cha-cha-cha. Welcome to Couch Pilots, all of my friends. The show that dares to fly into the unknown territory of awful television pilots of the past. My name is Jason, and with me is my teenage Spitfire, Maggie. It's Captain Philip, rest assured.
How are you, my friend?
We talked about that before. Teenage Spitfire.
Yeah, she's a Spitfire.
Here's the thing about Maggie. It's the show that we're watching today.
We're what? We're watching what?
We're watching a pilot called Maggie. What the... What's going on here?
I want to be on Karaoke Big E someday, and let me do a little of this.
What is happening here?
Wake up, Maggie, I think I got something to say to you. It's late September, and I really should be back at school. I know I keep you amused, but I feel I'm being used. Oh, Maggie, I couldn't have tried anymore. You led me away from home just to save you from being alone. You stole my heart, and that's what really hurts. The morning sun, when it's in your face, really shows your age. But that don't worry me none. In my eyes, you're everything. I laughed at all of your jokes. My love, you didn't need to coax. Oh, Maggie, I couldn't have tried anymore. You led me away from home just to save you from being alone. You stole my heart, and that's a pain I can do without. Oh, all I needed was a friend to lend a guiding hand. But you turned into a lover, and mother, what a lover, you wore me out. All you did was wreck my bed, and in the morning kick me in the head. Oh, Maggie, I couldn't have tried anymore. You led me away from home 'cause you didn't want to be alone. You stole my heart, and I couldn't leave you if I tried. I suppose I could collect my books and go back to school, or steal my daddy's cue and make a living out of playing pool, or find myself a rock and roll band that needs a helping hand. Oh, Maggie, I wished I'd never seen your face. You made a first-class fool out of me, but I'm as blind as a fool can be. You stole my heart, but I love you anyway. Oh, Maggie, I wished I'd never seen your face. I'll get on back home one of these days. Oh! Karaoke Biggie. Have me on the show, guys. Come on. I'm begging for a spot on Karaoke Biggie.
Obviously, we're going to cut all of that out.
It was good.
We just had a major edit point here in the show. Blake sang the whole Maggie song by Rod Stewart. I have so many questions. First of all, from now on, I want to start every show with you singing an entire a cappella song.
Okay.
Second of all, you can be on Karaoke Biggie anytime you want because they record it in your house. Third of all, what is this woman doing to wreck Rod Stewart's bed? And why is he mentioning that the sunlight shows her true age? How fucked up is that lyric?
Well,
women are so vain about their appearances. Why would he say that?
Women are so vain. Let me tell you about this song by Rod Stewart. Here's the thing. This song is about a young guy who falls in love with an older lady.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And
he doesn't care. He doesn't care about the age difference.
He doesn't care about the age difference. He gets sucked into it, and then he realizes that it's going nowhere. And he has a life, and he has to do something with his life, and now she's holding him back.
Does that ever happen to you? The song obviously means something to you because you sang it, again, in its entirety. We cut it out of the program so people listening at home won't hear this. But you sang the song in its entirety. Usually you peter out after like a line or two, but you went the distance on that. What's
the distance.
I didn't ask for that.
I went for speed.
No, it was
all
very
alone,
slow.
All alone in a time of need.
What's your story related to an older woman?
Well, no, but the story with the song is, I love that song, and I actually knew all the words, but I printed it off just to make sure I got them all right.
Okay.
But I know all the words to that song. I love that song. It's my favorite Rod Stewart song. Mm-hmm. And I've dated a couple older ladies.
Me too. Not many.
Me Too movement.
Yeah. As part of the Me Too movement, I have vowed to date older ladies.
And it never worked because you dated an older lady.
Mm-hmm. How much older are we talking?
5 or 10 years.
Okay.
And it's one of those things where, like, at first it's great because she's getting some dick that she's not normally getting, and she feels vibrant. But then the motherly instinct comes into it, and she becomes...
She tries to breastfeed you?
Breastfeeding in the analogy of run your life.
I meant literally breastfeed you.
No, run my life.
Okay.
And so then you, as the younger stallion, you like, this isn't working for me. She's very controlling. She kind of bosses me around.
Right.
She tells me what to do because she's being motherly.
But are you just a sissy boy though? Like, do you ever stand up to these ladies and like really like smack their ass and like grab them by the hair and say, "Hey, this is what's happening"?
Yeah, because they think that's the young guy. That's the young guy in the bedroom. But once you get out of the bedroom, they're like,
you're not assertive outside the bathroom. Bedroom.
No, I'm never assertive outside the bathroom. Never.
Rod Stewart had a gallon of jizz in him. Is that right? Is that the rumor?
That's the old wives' tale.
Okay, here's the thing about that. I can't drink a gallon of milk in an hour. I don't know how you're going to get a gallon. Like, he would have to ingest a gallon of semen quick to have all that in his gut at once. Otherwise, it's going to start digesting, and you're going to be shitting out about a bunch of cum, right? You would do a cum shit.
Cum shit.
But
hashtag.
I mean, when I ejaculate, it's like a maybe a tablespoon. You know, it's not. You're sucking a lot of cock to get that much jizz.
Right. I don't think it's true.
But why would that rumor start?
Well, it's the same with the Harrison Ford and the hamster up his butt.
I don't think that was Harrison Ford.
No, it was Harrison Ford and a gerbil.
No, I think it was Richard Gere.
Okay, same guy. Same difference.
You know what? I apologize to you. It is the same guy.
It is the same guy. One guy was in Star Wars. One guy was in National Lampoon's Vacation.
I kind of believe it, though. I believe the gerbil and the asshole thing. You want to know why?
Why?
Because I think a young Richard Gere, wasn't he with Cindy Crawford?
I don't know.
Okay, let's just say he was. If you were Richard Gere and you were about 35 to 45 years old, he looked like he was like 45, 50 from the age of like 25, 30, right? He always had this mature, regal look about him. If you're this movie star...
He was like the male Maggie.
He was the male Maggie. How's that song go?
Wake up, male Maggie, I think I got something to say to you. Last night I was drunk and you didn't tell me you had a penis. I know we started flirting at the bar, But when you got me in the car, you whipped out your penis and it went in my butt.
If you are having sex with the hottest women on the planet, and they're getting in line to do so, and among them are Cindy Crawford, which I believe is one like the most beautiful woman ever created.
Okay.
Cindy Crawford.
Okay.
If you're having sex with that on the reg, eventually you're like, okay, I fucked 1,000,000 tens. What's next?
Right.
And you're like, oh, I'll put like a rodent in my asshole.
The difficulty to put that rodent in your asshole and the fact that
I've been to a Rammstein concert. I know what kind of equipment's out there that can expand orifices. Okay.
even Harrison Ford, as dumb as he is,
Yeah.
if somebody says, hey, put this hamster or gerbil or whatever up your butt,
Right.
he's going to know that it's not going to come back out. You can get it up your butt.
What if you put like a little like a collar on it?
Ooh.
Or no, like maybe not a collar, a full like harness. So where when it starts to die or become cumbersome, you yank the whole thing out.
When it starts to suffocate
Yeah,
itself.
and of course it will. Maybe
But who has a harness for a hamster?
You know what? If you're going through the
Good
trouble
song.
of putting a
Good song.
hamster in your asshole, you're going to find a way to fashion a harness out of something. I've always said that.
Yeah. I think both those stories are not true. And I
That's
remember
fine.
when I was in Las Vegas, Rod Stewart was playing at the Caesars Palace.
Right.
And I wanted to go see him, but I didn't have any money to go see
Is
him.
that it for that song, or do you like the rest of his shit?
I like a lot of his stuff, like before he just started, instead of like writing songs and like singing them.
You celebrate his entire catalog.
No. There comes a point in the 80s where he's like, oh, I'm going to like leave music and I'm going to come back and I'm just going to do like
Covers and
standards. Yeah. And that doesn't do anything for me. Like that means you're like, I don't want to try. Like I'm famous. I have a lot of money. I'm not going to try to write a good song. I've already written 12 good songs.
Right.
There's no use writing them.
That's all you need.
Like Celine Dion.
Yeah. I love Celine Dion.
Do you? She looks very ill right now.
She looks like a human skeleton, like a living skeleton.
Her husband died of cancer, and I think she got it like from having sex with him or something.
He was like
He was 150.
15, 20 years older than
Oh
her,
yeah,
at least.
for sure.
Yeah, in her heyday, beautiful woman, very powerful voice. I'm not a fan of her.
She's not a beautiful woman.
I think in her heyday she was.
I think she looked like a man.
A goddamn Skeletor. No, at the top of the show, I called you a Spitfire teenager, Maggie, and I will say that Maggie. I was looking into this because I was like, this is what I was thinking. I was like, oh, Maggie's an attractive lady for the time,
Oh yeah.
and I was thinking, oh, could I go to jail for thinking that because maybe she's underage? They say she's 17 in the show. Actually, was 23 at the time.
Really? That's even. I feel better about watching this.
And that's
And
why
the-
I said
and the-
'cause I want to make you feel
and the
better.
things that happened while I was watching it.
What happened while you were watching it?
I just took notes.
You now knowing that she's 23 makes you feel better about taking notes?
The notes I took.
Oh, okay. Well, you know what? I'll leave you to it.
It must have been those notes I took.
It must have been notes.
But it's all over the paper now.
Are you having like a surge of wanting to be on Karaoke Big E a lot now? Is something happened? Do you have a renewed love for the show?
Oh, I've always loved the show.
It's a show that our friend Scott, he's been on this program plenty of times. He does with another friend of the show, Kevin.
Sure.
They do a karaoke podcast together.
Yeah, I guess what it is I feel like the time is drawing near for Karaoke Big E. Either Kevin moves or Scott dies. And so I want to be on it as much as possible. Mm-hmm. And I kind of get a kick out of. I feel like I'm kind of like ruining the show or like derailing it when I come down, and I get enjoyment out of that.
Oh, you like to derail it?
I like to derail it, but they say it's not derailing, but it is derailing.
You think Kevin's going to move soon?
Oh, I think so too.
Oh, you think so? Oh,
I agree.
I
with
said,
you.
do you think so?
I agree with you.
I was going to say you agree with yourself. I think me also too. Yes, me too. Boy, we should start a pool. Scott dies or Kevin moves first. What'll happen first? I bet. Oh, it's gonna be close.
It's like teetering like within a week.
If Scott doesn't help Kevin move, Kevin will.
Scott would never help Kevin.
I'll say if he helps him move, he's gonna die. But if he doesn't help him move, Kevin will leave first. That's what I think.
Hey, I like it.
I don't want Kevin to move. I don't want Scott to die today. So So there's that, I guess. What you got anything else going on? Should we talk any other shit?
You want to do the Pilots Challenge numbers so far?
Oh, I guess so.
Well, yeah.
Okay, don't give the actual numbers of the download because it's so depressing.
It is.
I never ask you for them.
Right.
It always hurts my feelings when you say.
And I have a note. I have a note that says, "Don't say actual numbers."
Thank you.
And we are going to have the final tally is going to be on the March 16th episode.
Perfect.
Final tally. But right now, and that's with 1 day of episode 9 being out and episode 10 not being out yet, I am currently losing by 1 download.
You're losing?
I'm losing by 1 download. It's the first day of your episode, and mine hasn't come out yet. And it's one download.
Oh yeah, we're recording on this on the day that The Sopranos over here was released.
The Sopranos. I like to call it The Sopranos.
Okay. Well, I tell you what. I think you're gonna win this thing.
Well, you know what? If it was Fox News right now, and we were in the Iowa caucuses,
Watch your mouth, please.
well, if we were in the Iowa caucuses right now, they would go ahead and call them. They would go ahead and say, per the numbers, we are saying that Blake Clayton is the winner.
I think you're right. I think you will have won this thing. What does that mean for you?
What does it mean? It means so many things.
Act like you're winning. Hold on. Get some award music.
Yeah,
going.
get some award music going.
Prepare in your head.
Is
right
this like
now.
an Oscar if I won an Oscar?
Yeah.
All right, I can definitely get myself in that state of mind. I won the Couch Pilots Pilot Challenge Oscar for 2020, season 22.
Yeah.
I got this. Okay, you want to announce me? And
the winner of the Captain's Challenge is Captain Philip Restisher.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Are you serious? Oh my god! Oh, everyone, thank you so much.
This is Blake Clayton's first award as the Captain's Challenge and his 15th nomination.
Everybody, I can't believe this. I mean, I can because my picks were better than Jason's, but I know everybody loves Jason more than me, and I'm just so happy. Oh my god. Oh my god. There's so many people to thank. I want to thank.
Hurry the fuck up!
I want to thank Jason for being a good sport. I want to thank Deion Sanders for being a dual sports player. He really inspired me.
You're taking too long!
I want to thank Dee for having me do Futurama instead of Alice because I think that's really the crucial point to win this. I know I want to thank Charity because the last season, the last episode we did was Wentworth, and I know that it got like 4,000 downloads, and that really put me over the edge. And just thank you everyone. Thank you very much. I love you guys. Thank you, Jesus.
Wow. Well, I hope you're ready to repeat that in a few weeks when we finally reveal that you will have actually won. And you know what?
Well, the Iowa caucuses said I won.
I'll just say this: you're the better captain. You've been podcasting longer than me. You are superior in every way.
I know what the listeners like.
And you know what the listener. You're a man of the people. Who's your Democratic pick for president?
Which one's the Democrats?
They're the donkeys.
Bernie Sanders.
Oh, they're the elephants.
Bernie Sanders.
He's one of them. Yeah.
I'm going to pick Bernie Sanders.
Oh, you don't like Pete Buttigieg?
He's fine. He's fine.
His first 4 letters of his last name is Butt.
No, he's fine.
And he's a gay guy too.
Well, and that doesn't bother me.
It doesn't bother me. It's just that the gay guy has Butt in his last name. That's like, I mean, high school must have been hell for that guy, right?
Well, I don't think he probably didn't come out until after high school.
Well, he's younger than me, oddly enough. That'd be weird to have that would be the first president in office that would be younger than me. I don't think he'll be president, but he's getting a lot of support.
That's good. No, I
do like Pete Buttigieg. He seems genuine.
Oh yeah, I like genuine. I think Bernie is going to take the Democratic oath, and I think he's going to run up against.
Probably Donald Trump, I'd imagine.
Yeah, and I think that the shock that we got 3.5 years ago, I think we're going to get a different shock, and it's called a Bernie shock.
You're calling it now. Bernie Sanders will be our next president.
Yep. He was a great baseball player, and
he was a great baseball. He's God, I believe him to be 77 years old.
And that's fine. It doesn't matter.
Who do you want for the vice president?
Well, Mitt Romney. Mitt Romney.
Is Mitt Romney no longer a Republican?
He's a Democratic Republican.
Oh, is he? That's news to me. You keep up on this stuff.
Oh, I love this stuff.
You eat it up, don't you?
Speaking of Trump,
Yeah, we were.
the other night I was tending bar,
Sure.
and a guy and his wife, old guy and an old wife came in, and he had a Donald Trump hat on, 2020 hat on.
Okay.
But he tipped me $7, so I'm not going to complain.
Yeah.
His wife and him were really nice. His wife actually came back to the bar to bring me some medicine for my dog to try.
Okay.
So
for the hair loss?
Yes.
That's good.
Yeah.
Is it like Barkpecia?
Barkpecia? Mm-hmm. God, that's
I just came up with that.
That's pretty good.
Right off the
That's
top of my
pretty
head.
good.
Pretty smart.
How many
stuff.
beers have you had?
It was like
Like
1 and a quarter.
Hey, let's do the podcast like this. Ba-ba-ba. Let's do the rest of it that way.
I don't know that. I don't think so. I mean, don't get
I
me-
am the pilot's
All right.
challenge
Okay. All right. We'll
champion.
do it your way.
Let's do 5 minutes of.
I hate that. I fucking hate that.
That was great.
Well, do we have any fan feedback or not?
We do, but we're gonna save it for the next episode because
Oh,
we got
thank
stuff
God.
going on.
Thank God.
We're already 20 minutes into this thing.
Are we really?
It's because you were talking about Bernie.
I love Bernie.
I guess I should have asked you. You asked me. You set it up. And I answered. But I didn't ask you. Which one you want? You want the butt guy or
The butt guy. Okay, here's who I like. Okay, I'll name the people that I like. I like Joe Biden. All right. I like Bernie Sanders. I like Pete Buttigieg. And those guys are all still in it. Someone who I like that is not in it anymore, Andrew Yang.
yeah, I like Andrew for sure.
That guy was a badass, smart guy. He very genuine too. I hope someone knocks on his door and says, "Hey, you want to be my vice president?"
Come on, knock on my door.
Come on, knock on my door.
and be my vice president.
Be the VP for me.
And then when I die, you can take over the presidency.
Dun, 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 dun. Very good.
Do you like Joe Biden, really?
Uncle Joe?
I don't
See,
like
every time I look at him, I think about Jason Sudeikis on Saturday Night Live, and I fall in love all over again.
that's true.
And then he touched that lady's hair. Today we discussed the pilot episode of Maggie.
Wake up, Maggie, I think I got... Oh, I already did that bit.
I like that the bit was just you singing the song. I also like when you said male Maggie.
What? Male Maggie?
yeah, we were talking. You sang the song "Male Maggie" afterwards.
Oh.
God, it was like 5 minutes ago. Anyway, Maggie's from the year of our Lord 1900 at 60. Now that was a great year. I tell you straight up.
Did you check your facts about this?
The Hollywood facts. Is that what you're talking about? What is that? Not is that wrong?
It was well
It was made
in 1957.
in 58, I believe. I thought it was 58, and then it was aired in 60.
Fuck me. All right.
Well, you know what? If you want to do the stuff that I do.
Oh no, I don't want to do.
Oh, okay. Okay. Did you just fart?
No.
Okay. Well, I was just wishful thinking then.
Did you just burp?
I did. Let's go back to
This show's built in the
1900.
back of his back burp.
In our minds.
Don't just wait for me.
I was trying to drag it out so you could jump in, but you're like looking at your phone. What are you talking to?
I was talking to Charity, who was on last week's episode.
What does she want from you? Oh, she's doing paint night with Stewardess Miles.
Yeah,
Right?
she said my wife was cute.
Ooh. Okay. Here we go. If your wife has any of those sex toys from Pure Romance in the car,
Oh yeah, because
she's gonna
that
get converted.
Pure Romance has been debunked. It's not happening in this house anymore. But I've got a bunch of inventory that just sits in boxes instead of being used.
Let's talk about that next episode.
Okay.
I'm excited.
I'm so excited.
Let me ask real quick, a yes or no quote. We don't have to get into it.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. March 2nd, American comedian and producer Lucille Ball files for divorce from her husband, Desi Arnaz, after 19 years of marriage.
Does it say why, like, what her stance on use irreconcilable differences?
It doesn't say. My
Okay.
research was little, and I didn't do
It was
that.
lax. Just say it was lax.
My research was lax. They were... Back then, I think there was a huge chasm between television and movies. But as far as TV goes, they were the power couple for a while.
Oh, for sure.
So to have that, they created a void, right?
A what?
A void with them separating.
I mean, I did before the show.
You voided your bowels. Did you do a quick shit?
I always slam it out.
How's your wiping? Is it as aggressive as it used to be?
It's aggressive. It's still aggressive.
Okay.
Be aggressive.
Yeah. March 5th. Oh, listen to this fucking shit. Elvis Presley receives his honorable discharge from the U.S. Army and returns home from Germany after being away on military duty for 2 years. Is that true?
Yeah, I think it is.
Here's a man, right? The king of rock and roll, right? Hips shaking back and forth like a goddamn grandfather clock on, what's that show? The Ed Sullivan Show. They can't even show his hips because the girls are creaming their jeans out there
Right.
like so much fucking grease lightning. And he, at the height of his power, they send him to Germany for the military.
Well, there was a lot of people like in baseball, like Ted Williams. The same thing. It's like in the height of their.
But what?
you know,
But okay, Ted Williams was real. He was
there
real.
was a draft though.
But like, what was happening in '60 though? The Korean conflict.
I think it was the Bay of Pigs.
So they sent Elvis to the Bay of Pigs.
Yeah, he's like-
Oh.
yeah.
Well, listen to this. March 2nd, Vietnam War. The United States announces that 3,500 American soldiers will be sent to Vietnam. That's the day after Elvis got dishonorable discharge. How the fucking lucky was that guy?
Oh, well then there's a conspiracy there. Then
Okay.
You read one fact but didn't read the other fact with it. So
Well, no, that's a separate fact that we're starting the Vietnam War.
Oh.
He's ending his
The day
service
after.
The day after. Do you think the United States government would say, we got to wait for Elvis?
no, I think they probably had a list that like we're going into this place knowing that a lot of people are going to die. Who do we have that's enlisted right now?
Who of importance is there?
Right. And yeah, no, I completely agree with you.
Well, I didn't say that. You're the one who said it was a conspiracy.
No, it is.
Okay.
I agree with you. that it's
You
a
agree with you
conspiracy.
too, right?
You too movement.
Is there? Should we do hashtag you too?
Hashtag Bono.
How old were you when this was released?
It was 1960 per your notes.
Correct.
I was negative 15, so that would make you negative 21.
That's right. That's exactly right. Very good. And why did we choose to watch Maggie? I know it's been a while, but we have 3 pillars in place that were kind of voided last season, just like your bowels. But what are the traditional 3 pillars of Couch Pilots?
Yeah, sure. We're back to
Back in the saddle again.
I'm back. One, it was a pilot that never went to series. Whether it aired or not is irrelevant. Number 2, it was free, and number 3, we had to find it on the internet. We could find it on the internet.
Yeah. Does that feel good to say that?
Just give me some time to warm back up to it.
But I mean, okay. But does it feel good to say that?
Oh no, it feels great.
It does. Okay, so you're happy to kind of be back in the swing
Yeah.
of things.
Oh yeah. I'm
too.
I'm happy to be back in it.
I don't want to say this, and I don't want because I mean.
Because you lost and
Because I lost, but last season was kind of bullshit, right? The whole season. I don't want to take anything away from your prestigious award, but the whole last season and whoever had that idea was kind of all bullshit. It's not what we do, right?
no, it's not what we are. We are honed in, and we're like professors
right.
of shit TV.
Correct.
And, new podcast.
Who knows more-
Professors of shit TV.
Who knows more than us? Well, I tell you, there is another podcast. Did you see that?
I saw it. I didn't listen yet.
I think they're called. I think it was called Drop the Pilot, maybe. Okay, that's what we should do. We should put something out there. A friend of mine a while back had mentioned when I told them I did a podcast. They said, "Hey, kind of like that thing from Pulp Fiction where they're talking about a pilot." And then
What's a pilot?
exactly? And then months later, it kind of resonated with me. I was like, "Hey, maybe I should like use that sound bit on the show and involve us and the guests reading it before the show really gets going." But this show, Drop the Pilot, has been using part of that sound clip for maybe 6 months to a year before we started using it.
Really?
Yeah, so they predate us on that.
Okay.
Call it parallel thing.
High five them.
I guess. I don't know. The show's fine. It's a couple of guys from a different continent. You know, whatever. Good on you.
Yeah, sure. If you got nothing better to do, why don't you watch a bunch of pilots that failed?
Idiots.
Dummies.
Where can you watch the entire pilot episode of Maggie? We can do so by subscribing to Couch Pilots on SoundCloud, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or your favorite podcast app of choice, and then simply click on one of our classically blue links in our show notes, or go to YouTube. And Blake,
You know what to do, too.
Flight attendants, please.
That sounds a lot like you.
it's me. It is me.
Nice. You did good.
That's like 4 years old or more.
Yeah.
Like 4.5
Well, you can
years.
tell because your voice has changed so much in those 4 years.
Yeah. Well, I've been smoking a lot of cigarettes.
Cigarettes and whiskey.
Do you ever smoke a cigar?
Yeah.
What's better?
I think a cigar is good if you have time. Mm-hmm. But if you don't have time, you smoke a cigarette.
Do you ever smoke in your house?
No.
Have you ever done that?
Oh yeah, I used to smoke in my bed before I met some.
Lucky to be alive.
I fell asleep before the cigarette going. That's
Good,
fine.
Good. It is. Yeah, it's fine. No problem.
Oh, I loved it. You know what? There's nothing better than after sex, instead of getting up and going in the garage to smoke.
Yeah.
You just roll over and light a cigarette. It's great.
Here. I got a problem solver for you.
Okay.
Just start having sex in the garage,
Did that one time, dented the car.
and you're gonna want to high five that shit. Summary of the pilot.
True story.
Pilot for a proposed sitcom concerns the misadventures that occur when a sophisticated husband and wife team of actors and their clever teenage daughter move from Manhattan to suburban Connecticut and immediately clash with their new neighbors.
B plus.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
fair. That's very fair.
Yeah.
Interesting facts, I guess.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Interesting Facts. Jason has scoured the internet and could not find a bar none facts about this. He found a couple because he scours. Don't taint anybody's experience. Just listen to the facts that he speaks.
You don't know what hard times are, Daddy.
I bet it was hard. I bet this was a little difficult. I think this is what I envision. I envision you today about 4:30 scrambling to find. Oh,
No, I knocked it out of the park yesterday. I had a lot of time on my hands, and I was just like, you know what? Let me crank this shit out, baby. And I did.
you jerked off?
I jerked off on my keyboard, creating some sort of permanent glaze, almost
Crusty.
crusty, but also waterproof. You know, is a Rod Stewart-esque kind of glaze. ABC initially expressed interest in this series for its Monday night schedule for the 1957 television season. Damn, you're right. And NBC considered it. The pilot finally aired on August 30th, 1960, on CBS's summer replacement series, The Comedy Spot, that featured unsold pilots.
This show is built on the back of his back.
Oh my
burps.
God, it's
I think he got a little bit on him.
I did, yeah. So we know about CBS Summer Playhouse.
Sure.
That's one of our favorites.
Yeah.
And then, but here's one. I think it was 8 to 12 episodes back in the 60s, 60 to 62, on CBS called The Comedy Spot. So another little gold mine if we can find them all.
Right. No, this is a place where you put bad pilots to rest. Mm-hmm. You spent the money on them.
Yep.
You got to put them on the air.
Yep. Phillips of Maritime.
Yep.
Produced by George Burns and McAdden Productions, who also produced Petticoat Junction, the Jack Benny Program, and the George Burns and Gracie Allen Show.
Yeah.
Can you do a George Burns impression?
God, it's been a long time.
Is it a lot of licking your lips? And it's always a cigar.
Good night, Gracie. Good night, Gracie.
I gotta take a shit.
Let me tell you something. Back in 1937, I was on the lot for CBS.
I was on the old CBS lot.
Yeah, and this young lady came up. She couldn't have been more than 13 or 14. And I said, "Hey, you want to be on a TV show?"
I sure do, sir.
Well, follow me. Get in my golf cart. Follow me. All right, this is my dressing room. All right, now take your panties down.
George Burns lived to be 100.
Sure.
Anytime you see George Burns, first of all, he looks like a fucking alien.
And the circular Coke glasses.
He's got the patented glasses.
Cigar, always a cigar in his hand.
That's what I'm saying. I got to start smoking a cigar. I want to live to 100. I think he died like a month or two after his 100th birthday.
Why would you want to live to be 100?
So I could see all the changes.
I'm going through changes.
Written by Bill Manhoff, who worked on The Partridge Family and All in the Family.
After. Not before this, but after.
Correct. Directed by Rod Amatew, known for Gilligan's Island and the movie version of High School USA.
High School USA, which we've done before.
Well, we
did that.
We did the TV version.
Yeah. That's what you said.
And remember we talked to that big fucking fat guy from there?
I got a fat girl.
Do you remember that guy?
My jock.
Yeah.
And he was like, hey, my daughter's selling Girl Scout cookies. Do you remember that? You don't remember that, do you?
No.
Okay, well, that's all true. Stars former MGM child star Margaret O'Brien as the titular Maggie.
Okay, so she was a child star.
She was a child star, and if this aired in 60, but it came out in 57, I think she was 20 when this was made.
But what was she in? Do you have any like?
I can dig it up.
No, that's not necessary.
Okay, thanks. I don't want to.
I'm trying to save you work.
Leon Ames stars as the father Mark. He's known for Peggy Sue Got Married, Meet Me in St. Louis, and Tora, 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 which I believe was about the attack on Pearl Harbor.
And he was also famous for Mr. Ed. He was in Mr. Ed.
Oh, who was he? Was he the guy who shoved the carrot in Mr. Ed's ass to make his mouth
He was
move?
the next door neighbor, and he was also on Father of the Bride. Fathers Knows Best. Fathers.
You're right. You're right about. I do remember one of
I'm
those.
right about both of those.
There was a TV show called Father of the Bride, right? And then it was wasn't there a Steve Martin movie in the late 80s?
Right. There was Father 2 and 3, but this was a TV show, and he was also on Mr. Ed.
Very good. Well, are we doing a thing where you should say the interesting facts first or not?
Oh, no, not at all.
Do you have any more?
No.
Finally stars Faye Baker as the mother Annie. She's known for Notorious and
B.I.G.
and The House on Telegraph Hill.
Ooh.
Maggie is still alive and working to this day.
Really?
She doesn't work a lot. She works
Twitter
on the-
response. Oh, sorry.
Oh, go ahead, please.
I didn't think it was going to happen.
Twitter responses.
Twitter responses. Twitter responses. I wonder if Jason got some Twitter responses from Maggie.
R.I.P. Maggie. No, I'm just kidding. She's not dead, but she's like 83 years old. She's pretty old. But yeah, she has a movie or some sort of credit in IMDb as recently as 2018.
Wow.
So she out there.
And you didn't try to tweet her or anything.
No, I did try, but
Oh, okay. Well, you didn't stay at that. But you just.
no, I always look, even
I
though
did
it's
the Twitter responses song, and then you just skipped over it.
No, I
saying
said they're
a bunch
all
of her
dead.
credits.
I said they're all dead,
But she's not dead.
but she doesn't have a Twitter.
Well, why don't you just say that?
What do you want me to do? I check. I go through the whole list. When you go back to 1960, it's a pretty safe bet that they're all dead, or they're old enough to not
But
know what a
Maggie's
computer
not
is.
dead.
But she doesn't have a Twitter.
She might have a publicist.
I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. Are you out of your fucking mind? Are you out of your fucking mind? I'm not doing that.
Okay.
Listen,
If you want to half-ass the show, go ahead. It's fine.
that's how we've always done it.
If you want to karaoke Biggie this shit,
Oh boy. Okay, you really put me in my place there. Hear me now. I'm going to work on my brother's video game convention next year. I tell you about
right
that.
on.
Yeah, so that'll be cool.
What are you going to do?
I'm going to be in charge of
Not Twitter, I hope.
the finances and not Twitter.
The finances.
Right.
You're going to be the guy with the little plastic green brim thing?
Yep, and I'm getting a belt that contains a bunch of different slots for coins. That's right.
That's going to be awesome.
No, we had a meeting the other day. It was pretty cool.
You had a meeting with your brother and who else? Just you and your brother?
No, my daughter was there, and she had a taco. And then this other guy named Austin, he's an
Powers?
Huh? Austin Powers? Yeah. Yeah, Mike Myers came as his character, Austin Powers, and then his girlfriend. They were an odd couple, but...
Was she a mini-me? Let's just take a minute.
Why do I continue to do this to myself? Surely there are other things I could be doing to better my life. Better the lives of others. The least of which my daughter. But no.
You should collect stamps.
What's that?
You should collect stamps.
I collect bottle caps.
Oh. even less lucrative than stamps.
Is any of it lucrative?
Stamps are lucrative.
Stamps.com lucrative? Let's set the clock for 10 minutes, and let's talk about the plot of Maggie. I will start us off this time, if you don't mind.
No.
We got stop motion characters saying the comedy spots, a couple guys drumming her in front of a curtain or something, brought to you by Johnson's Wax. And then it goes right into a commercial for Johnson's Wax. It's a wonderful little jingle, and it's a holiday car wash. It says, leaves a shine that looks...
Foot deep.
1 foot deep.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I like that, didn't you?
Yeah, I loved it.
Yeah, that was good.
And like they had like a
measuring stick on
measuring
top of
stick to
it.
see how. Yeah.
It's all black and white. And then there's another commercial. It says examples of like seemingly harmless things.
There's a fly of some kind,
Poison ivy.
and a whirlpool.
Yeah.
And those are all they all seem beautiful, but they're very dangerous. And then
They show a picture of Maggie, and she's apparently something that looks nice, but is harmful. Well, I don't find her to be that harmful. Do you? She's mischievous.
we'll just wait till we get to the end.
Maggie is very attractive. She is young, 17 as they say. The show opens in Connecticut with Maggie's parents in their backyard. Their names are Annie and Mark.
Yeah, and Mark is narrating.
He's narrating, and there is a laugh track here.
Yes, of course there is.
I think this is the only time that Mark narrates too, right?
I think there is another part in it early to set the stage for stuff. I noticed right off the bat. Annie or Anne and Mark are on the lanai.
I think it's Anne. You're right.
And they are having drinks or whatever and sit on the lanai. And the next door neighbors are putting up a cement wall,
But bunch of bricks.
Yeah, or cement wall.
Right. Good God, man. The parents, as mentioned in the description of the show, are an acting team. And yeah, they're all in their backyard. And Maggie sees her older single neighbor and like kind of making up her tragic backstory.
Yeah.
She does a lot of these things where she disappears into her imagination and kind of out loud tells stories which are completely fabricated but are just, I guess, floating around in her head.
Sure. And I noticed here, and I wrote down, Maggie has a pointy bra on and nice tiff.
Nice tiff?
Yep, stiff neck.
Okay. Yes, all women back then had big, weird, pointy bras.
Yeah.
I think they were made by men. Do you think men were attracted to pointy boobs back then? They're like, hey, we're in charge of everything. What if we make bras in the shape of the boob that we want, and maybe the boob will conform to it?
No, I think that they were their technology. They couldn't make a cone shape. They could, with no point. They had to make a point one.
They look like Lara Croft Tomb Raider in the original PS1 version. All pixel. Excuse me?
Okay, so Annie and Mark are getting ready to be interviewed, and the interviewers they're from the local paper, and
right off the bat, the reporters don't feel like they're keen on having these people in town.
Right, they don't want them there anyway, and they're actually talking about how they don't like those kind of people in a way. Mm-hmm. Then Maggie comes, and she's got a sword, and she's dressed up like a knight.
Like Joan of Arc is what I thought, didn't you? Like a crusader.
I don't know who Joan of Arc is.
God damn it, yes you do.
So they start interviewing Maggie, and this is where you find out she's crazy.
Maggie,
like she starts talking crazy talk.
Maggie might be a crazy person.
Yeah.
And I mean, if you have parents that are actors, maybe that's par for the course.
And at first I was like, oh, she's been sheltered her whole life and pampered.
Yeah.
But then the more she talks in this pilot, I'm like, oh no, she's fucking got shit not right upstairs.
That might be it.
It reminded me of some ex-girlfriends.
She starts to show off a little bit in front of the reporters, and then her dad drags her inside the house. Eventually, she goes back outside. She continues to embarrass the family.
And the mom takes her in.
But she's outside talking like a tiny child.
Right. She whatever her dad said, hey, don't do this, do this. She over-accentuates it.
And she did it on purpose to be a bitch.
And then mom takes her inside and starts talking to her. And she's like, well, why don't you go talk to that guy next door, Weird Willie?
Yeah, and then we get a commercial, right? It's a cartoon. It's a Raid. Raid House and Garden Bug Killer kills them dead. Also from Johnson's Wax.
Right. They show like them spraying it on like flowers and stuff. They're like, oh, it'll kill the bugs, but it won't kill the flowers.
And they even say it's good for indoor. So there's a lot of like questionable use of inhaling this toxic chemical.
Right.
But I like the cartoons.
Oh no, they're for sure. And so then we have the next scene is Willie. Maggie sneaks into Willie's backyard. He seems older than like 17 or 18, a lot older. And he has like a bunch of cages, and he's doing like science experiments.
He's using a microscope outside, which seems odd. And he starts speaking French to Maggie.
Well, Maggie starts speaking French to him first.
Right.
Yeah.
And he responds fully fluent, apparently. And yeah, he's got a bunch of cages. I think there are chickens in there. And he's not really interested in talking to Maggie, idiot.
And yeah, for sure. And then
Would you talk to Maggie?
Oh, I would say, wake up, Maggie. I got something to say to you. And so she curses him. She like points a finger at him and goes into one of her spiels and curses him with bad luck.
Maggie makes her way over to the lonely old neighbor, Mrs. Caldwell, that they were looking at earlier. And she calls Maggie him.
Numerous times.
And she calls him sir because she's wearing slacks.
Yes, or trousers.
Yes, yeah. I like that a lot. I thought it was pretty funny.
Yeah, for sure. And then
She's a real bitch, this old lady.
yeah, she reminded me of like the Wicked Witch in Wizard of Oz.
Okay.
But doing flowers. The next scene is Maggie is talking to Hester, which is the maid.
Yeah.
A live-in maid, by the way, just so you know that. That's how wealthy they are.
She's the Alice of this family, a la Brady Bunch. Anyway, Maggie's telling Hester more of the backstory of Mrs. Caldwell and her male helper. Did you get his name?
Mr. Whitaker.
Mr. Whitaker. Okay. Hester is so caught up in Maggie's story that she goes outside and yells at Mr. Whitaker.
Because they should be in love.
That's Maggie's story.
Yeah.
And Hester's like, you old fool, why don't you tell her how you feel or something like that.
Yeah.
I like Hester. She seems like she's full of beans. I like her.
Oh, yeah. She's full of piss and vinegar, as they say nowadays.
Does Maggie look like Rizzo from...
for sure. No, Rizzo for sure.
She's got the Rizzo haircut.
Oh, Rizzo haircut, dark
the pointy
hair,
boobs.
Pointy boobs.
Yeah. The tight short sleeve shirt with what's buttoned up to the top. Yeah. She's got that weird like honeycomb haircut. Yeah. You know?
Yeah.
Anyway.
Just like that.
No, I'm not helping you achieve anything.
Oh, sorry. How about achieve greatness? Because the next scene is Caldwell and Whitaker,
right?
In Caldwell's place, and they're not in a relationship. It's a working relationship.
What's the work he's doing?
He's
just hanging around.
He's helping with the accounting. He's helping with She loves plants, but all of a sudden you see these two little darts go in with notes on them, and Maggie has thrown darts in.
Were they darts?
Well,
I thought they were crumpled up pieces of paper.
Well, they were crumpled, but they had the they were like blow darts with the notes on.
Gotcha. Okay.
And one Whitaker,
Mr. Whitaker, he finds when he reads it, and it's basically saying like, "Hey, I've got these
I want to fuck your
feelings
brains
for you."
out.
Yeah. I want to fondle your ball sack.
And he goes and gets in the liquor cabinet.
This is funny. They both do it. They both check the liquor to see if the other one's been drinking a lot.
Right.
But he believes it to be from her, and why wouldn't he? Of course,
right, for sure.
And then Mrs. Caldwell finds her letter,
and
it sounds like it's from him, and she checks the liquor too.
Right. And so Mr. Whitaker comes in and goes, "Hey, I quit."
Well, she fires him first.
She fires. He's like, "That's fine because I quit first."
There's a lot of confusion here.
And he's like, Mr. Whitaker really goes into it like, "Hey, I'm not into this hanky-panky stuff."
He's gay. He's a gay guy.
And then he's like, if I were you, I think I quoted, if you're crazy if you think you can get another trip and of that wagon of yours, get another trip on that wagon of yours, saying that she's old and her body's dead.
Oh, good Lord. But they start to piece things together, and they're like, I didn't write that. Well, I didn't write that. And then they look outside, and they see Maggie trying to play matchmaker out there, and then they call her dad, Mark, very quickly to start complaining, and Mark tries to come up with, like, the perfect punishment for Maggie.
Right, and, like, tar and feathering. It even got as extreme as tar and feathering.
They got a commercial.
Yes, and it's best food, Mazola.
Mazola corn oil and Mazola margarine.
Yeah, because right now we're having too much saturated fat.
A lot of talk about saturated fats.
A lot of... Like, this is a good drinking game. This commercial, every time they say saturated fats, you take a drink.
Yeah, absolutely.
You take a vodka drink.
You take a cider drink.
You take a lager drink.
You take a drink. Vodka drink.
Yeah.
Margarine is bad for you, right? You want just straight up butter. However butter is made, pure and natural. That's what you want. You don't want fucking oils and margarine.
Yeah.
You want that fucking shit. Anyway, back in the show, it's nighttime, and Maggie and Hester are upstairs in like their robe and like curlers in their hair.
Right.
This is what I notice. There are a lot of butterflies in this house. Did you notice this?
I did not notice the butterflies.
Downstairs, they have framed butterflies.
Okay.
And upstairs, they have framed butterflies in like Maggie's room.
I did not notice that. Good,
Lot of-
good. You know what? Good catch.
Hey, thanks a lot, man.
But Maggie is talking to Hester about this book that she's writing, and this is where it goes into. It cuts to like, oh,
That's the end.
yeah,
Do you want to cut it there?
yeah. I'm gonna cut it.
All right. I will quickly say there's a weird imagination court scene.
Yeah.
Where
it doesn't fit.
where all of the characters that we've seen so far play different characters in Maggie's imagination.
It's from the book. It's from the book that she's writing.
Maggie is like the prosecutor, and she's like calling witnesses and grilling them. And she has Mrs. Caldwell on the stand, and Maggie pulls off Mrs. Caldwell's skirt, and she's wearing slacks.
trousers.
I laugh out loud. This, my friend, gets an LOL bump from me.
LOL bump?
Yeah.
That's the first ever. We've never had an LOL
This
bump.
was funny as shit.
That was funny.
That was funny
Because
as
then
shit.
she rips
Oh my
off her
God.
hat or something, and she has like a guy's haircut.
Slightly less funny, but yes,
it-
as much shit she gave her about the slacks and then for her to be wearing them. Oh my lord.
Please remain seated as we are now crossing a zone of turbulence.
Bing bong. Hello. Hi. Why didn't Maggie work? If you say it's black and white, I swear to God, I'm going to slap you.
No, I don't think black and white bothers me at all.
Okay.
For me, I didn't know who this Maggie person was. I didn't know she was already like famous or whatever. She was insane. That's why this didn't work. Is this girl was insane?
You're talking about the character, though, right?
Well,
Well, you said you didn't know Maggie like she was famous. So you're talking about
but her name's not Maggie. I'm talking about the character. Her name is Maggie.
the actress's name is Margaret.
Well, it's not Maggie.
Okay.
You know, it didn't say, "Wake up,
All right.
Margaret. I think I got something to say to you."
Male Margaret. You'll go back and listen.
Male Margaret.
Please.
I don't listen. I don't go back and listen to these.
Is that it?
Huh? I did. I think that for me, I didn't know who this person was. I didn't know she'd ever had a show or been on anything. Number two, she was insane, and it was like I was uncomfortable. Like it wasn't cute. It wasn't like a Patty Duke kind of cute. You know what I mean? It was a It was like this girl has got some mental issues for sure, and I would have sex with her, knowing that she has those mental issues.
Right. I hear you. My note here is on what I'd improve it. I would say Maggie is too old. She's a 23-year-old chick here playing a 17-year-old.
So a 23-year-old is too old for you, Jason?
Yeah, to be a daughter living at home.
Oh, do you like daughters that live at home?
What are you doing? I'm just
going through the
Oh, these are your
pilot.
notes again?
Yeah, the pilot.
These are the notes you feel good about?
It says, Jason, why are you...
This reminds me a little bit of the Female Dennis the Menace program we watched a few months back called Time Out for Ginger. Do you remember that one?
Yes, I do.
That was about a precocious young girl.
This girl is not precocious. This girl has some mental fucking issues.
But don't you feel like she's too old though? If she's supposed to play a 17-year-old in the show, how much longer are we supposed to act like it's okay that she lives in that? Because she's the centerpiece of the show. Do we follow her going off to college, and the show becomes a different world situation? I mean, like, I feel like you want to grow with this family, but this family
So
is
you want
about
her to
ready.
be like 7 or 8?
I don't care. I don't care.
You don't care how old she is, huh?
Okay, I am getting off of this. I had a lot more to say.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Go ahead and
No,
say
you
it.
are. You cannot handle that segment for some reason.
You can't handle her youth.
Wow. Wow. Let's go ahead and give him that. You deserve something for that.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you again for the award. Yeah. Joke of the night. Thank you again. I've won 2 awards tonight.
You can't handle the youth. Wow. IMDb
Can
score.
you sing that song?
I know that Jack Nicholson sang it in A Few Good Men, didn't he?
Really?
You can't handle the truth, right?
Oh, that was one way.
What's the other
I was
way?
going to say Sonic Youth.
So any ground that you just made, all gone. It's all gone.
That's the story of my life, to be honest with you.
IMDb
I
score
digress.
from 11 ratings, it stands at a 7.6, which seems very high.
Yeah, I couldn't find it on IMDb, so good on you.
Yeah.
I couldn't find it. There's a question mark on my notes. That does seem rather high.
Does the question mark right after the question mark or before the question mark? Does it say how do I cheat?
No.
Question mark.
No.
Okay.
It's standard protocol for me to put the name, the number of the season, number of the episode, the name, the year it was made, the rating, the release date,
What rating?
my rating,
Okay.
and then the IMDb score.
That's what you're cheating. What?
Oh.
What? So you have
You say potato, I say cheating.
you going into the show. This is something I've never asked you. Going into the show, like you know what you're going to rate this before we start.
No. No, I watch it, I take notes, and then the next day, that's when I do my rating. I do this at work. This part is at work. This part right here, I
Yeah.
do while I'm watching it.
Stop it with the papers.
And this part I do the next day at work.
Get that away from the mic. God damn it.
So it's not the same day.
Critic reviews posted on September 19th, 2012. Our good old friend Vintage.
Oh.
Huh?
No, go ahead.
What were you going to say?
No, go ahead. Vintage 45.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's our good old friend.
Good old friend.
I've never met him. I've never spoke to him directly.
His website is all fucked up and weird. It's not
I think it's fucked
it's
up,
not
sure.
formatted right.
Yeah, not great.
Yeah, but he basically is like, this is a shit show.
He says child star Margaret O'Brien is 17-year-old Maggie Bradley in this horrible attempt at comedy. Leon Ames and Faye Baker are her actor parents. The whole thing is horrible, and O'Brien is really annoying. It was broadcast in 1960 on the summer replacement, The Comedy Spot. It featured unsold pilots and reruns from anthology series.
Yeah, I don't think she was annoying as so much as just scary. Like I felt uncomfortable. I felt like she was crazy.
I don't feel like that's a problem for you. You love crazy, whether it's looking in the mirror or the women you've bedded.
Well, I wrote that. I said I think she seems scary, but that's
Fun
never
in the
stopped
sack.
me. Oh
Right?
yeah. Oh no, this girl right here, she banged, she moved. You think Shakira did great?
I do think she did great.
You think J-Lo did great?
Sure, yeah, they were great.
I think Margaret would do as well.
Oh, you would like to see Margaret perform at the halftime show for the Super Bowl?
Well, in bed.
Viewer reviews. Let's see. Hayward M gives it 4 stars on February 11, 2013. Subject, not bad at all. Surprisingly free-spirited girl for the late 50s wearing pants several years before Laura Petrie, MTM, I don't know what that means, may have finally aired in 1960, but the production date is 1957. It sat for a long time. Too bad it never got picked up. It had potential.
That's a positive one.
Reviewer Freestone Slice gives it 5 stars out of 5. February 2nd, 2013. Subject, a shame it wasn't picked up. Genuine laugh-out-loud humor in the old 1950s style. Maggie feels alive in a way of a lot of entertainment from the same era doesn't. Sitcoms are, after all, a series of rooms, but here we're exposed to a protagonist who shares our frustration and confinement and who lives a ridiculously rich mental life. The imagined courtroom scene near the end is the highlight of an already entertaining half hour.
Wow, I would disagree with that.
I also disagree with that.
Yeah. It was odd. It didn't fit. Yeah. Except your punchline that you got.
Thank
the
you.
trouser thing.
Thank you very much. Reviewer 1110 Babe gives it 3 stars from December 5th, 2012. Margaret was a cute teen. I wish she'd gotten a lot more work. She was quite good and didn't overact the overacting. That's bizarre. Occasionally, I could see a bit of her younger self in her delivery, but most of the time I was watching as if she were an unknown actress. The problem with this getting sold may have been that her character was nonstop annoying. It would have been smarter, perhaps, to give her some redeeming moments when we didn't have to when we didn't want her to throttle her as much as her parents and neighbors did.
Do you think she needed to be more cute or less crazy? That's a big difference. Like cutesy, like 17-year-old, kind of cutesy, like her delivery, or do you think she just needed to be less crazy? You can only pick one of those two.
More cute or less crazy?
Yeah.
I think she's really cute. So
No, I don't mean looks wise. I meant like in her delivery and her the way she. You know, maybe innocent, maybe.
Given those two options, maybe less crazy. I don't know. I think this should have gone to like a 12 to 14-year-old girl, so they had time to grow with the show. And I don't mind all the like imagination stuff. I think that's a big part of the show is her imagination and going off these tangents. I didn't like the courtroom scene necessarily, even though it did provide for me the biggest laugh of the episode. But I mean, those are a few of the viewer reviews, right? Let's dole out our review.
I also wrote down that
Ladies
Maggie
and
would
gentlemen,
shank a
welcome to
bitch.
FCF Airport.
She would shank a
Local
bitch?
time is 11:11.
You gotta stop
and
watching that
temperature is
Wentworth, man.
69 degrees. For your safety and comfort, please remain seated with your seatbelt fastened until the captains turn off the fasten
Is that still on?
seatbelt sign.
Wentworth?
Yeah, waiting for the next season to come out this year.
It'll be season 8. Is that right?
9,
Oh, really?
I think so.
So are you going to see it in real time, or do you have to wait till it's dumped on Netflix?
I had to wait till it's dumped on Netflix.
All right.
It'll all come out at once.
You're not watching Breaking Bad, are you? You
No.
understand? Why do you say it like that? Breaking Bad.
I don't have time for that. It's like
How do you have time for Wentworth?
my wife was in Gulf Shores.
So you binged a whole series while she was in Gulf Shores.
I binged 6 seasons while she was gone.
Jesus, tap dancing Christ.
And I would have done more, but we had to podcast one of those.
Oh, I'm so sorry to burden you with my friendship. 1 out of 7, that's the scale. Taken from the program from the 1990s, affectionately and accurately known as Wings. It's a 1 to 7 scale, 1 for, being the worst character on Wings. That's a fella goes by the name of Roy Biggins. And 7's the best score you're going to get, and that's a guy, my favorite, Brian Hackett. Captain Philip, rest assured, I turn to you. How do you rate Maggie?
I'm giving it a booby bump.
Whose boobies?
Maggie's boobies.
Okay, but now, they say in the show she's 17, okay? You came into this program tonight, probably all you knew was that she was 17.
Okay.
Did the booby bump come before I
Oh,
gave you the information
the
that she
booby
was
bump
20
came,
or after?
believe me. No, it came before. I wrote it at work.
So you believe that she was a 17-year-old girl and you gave her a booby bump?
That's correct.
Okay, good.
Your Honor.
Okay. I rest my case.
With the booby bump, I'm giving it a 4. I liked it. I liked the story. Like I said, I did not like the courtroom scene. It was unnecessary. We could have done something else. But I liked her interaction. And I liked the fact that I felt kind of creeped out by her. Like that she would fucking shank somebody.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like it wasn't just like her vivid imagination. Like she was fucking
I think there were
crazy.
some sociopathic tendencies.
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome, and I honor you. Okay.
How about you, Jason? What do you give this one?
Finally.
1 through 7.
Um,
You gave it a laugh bump.
there's an LOL bump.
LOL bump.
I like this show. The parents didn't bring a lot to the table, but it was only the first episode. I think there's some interesting things to mine from them being actors. Maybe that's a good way to bring famous people on the set.
Yeah.
You know, they have
Good answer. Good answer.
Oh, thank you. Famous guest stars come on because they work in the business.
Right.
You have a real Dennis the Menace vibe, and Mr. Wilson vibe with her and the neighbor. It's the
Caldwell.
Yeah. Weird Willie. There's a lot of stuff that could go on with that guy. I mean, the possibilities with the limited number of cast members we saw are okay. I like Maggie. She's a very attractive lady. She's, like I said, maybe a little too old for the role. Overall, I enjoyed it. I give it a 4. Bump it up with the LOL bump. I'm going to give this a 5.
Nice.
This is fine.
Yeah.
The courtroom scene was out of place and odd, but everything else was good. Hester was great. The
I
maid.
love Hester.
Yeah, there's a lot of good stuff in this. I give it a 5.
Good.
You give it a 4. And with that, we close the book on Maggie, and we will never speak of that show again.
Yeah.
But join us next time, won't you please, when we watch the pilot episode of Making It Legal. Here's a little something to wet your whistle.
Finally, your 17-year-old thing is running.
What the fuck is that supposed to mean? Oh, making it legal. All right. A pair of lawyer pals compete with each other to become partner at their firm. You can find the entire episode of Making It Legal by subscribing to Couch Pilots and SoundCloud, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or your favorite podcast app of choice, and then simply click on one of our classically blue links in our show notes, or go to YouTube, and you know what to do too.
I'm not going to say anything anymore. It's obvious.
I really doubt that you're not going to say anything. I'm fucking always saying some shit. It's nice to be back in the swing of things.
Yeah, I feel like we're in our groove. We were out of our element season.
Last season we were out of our groove. Now we're back in our groove.
Some people would call us Stella.
What's that?
Some people would call us Stella.
They would call us Stella?
Because we got our groove back.
Oh, God. That's just a movie about a... oh, you're so happy? What are you doing? You're leaning back in your chair, eyes closed.
I'm pointing at the tablet.
Looking at the ceiling.
Because we're like... Wait, hold on. Hold on.
You have a message of positivity you would like?
Yeah, turn that off and I'll give it. I'll do it.
I can't remember
You put
how
it
to...
on.
Hold on.
Awesome!
Okay, I got to...
Awesome!
Do you want positivity?
I don't know. I'm trying to work the board. I don't know. Hold on.
Awesome!
Shit. Wait, hold on.
It's a good beat, really.
Okay, I think I got it.
That was pretty good. That's pretty good. If you go back and listen to it, it was probably good.
I'm sorry!
It was a good beat.
I'm sorry!
Sorry? Are you Siri?
I'm Canadian.
Message of positivity. Hey, guys, March. We're in March 2nd. In like a lion, out like a lamb. That cold weather is about over. Just hang in there a little bit more. We're going to be in the springtime. We're going to be getting ready to take our shirts off. We're going to be getting ready to get in the pool. And we're getting ready to have some fun. Just stick in there for a couple more 3 weeks.
Did you have a single pool party last year?
No. No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
Nope.
Okay.
Nope. It's too much weird stuff when my friends are together.
What? There's too much weird stuff?
Yeah, when my friends are together.
How so?
I had a party, but it wasn't like a.
What's the weird stuff when your friends are together?
Well, people take their clothes off and jump in the pool.
Is that bad?
No, it's not bad.
That's fucking rad, isn't it?
It's super rad, but my wife don't like that shit.
She didn't like it?
Oh no, she did not like that.
Yeah, she did.
I think she had body issues or something. I don't know.
That's ridiculous. She loves it.
Why do you know what my wife loves?
I don't know. Hold on a second.
You don't know what hard times are, Daddy.
Go to couchpilotspodcast.com. It's a one-stop shop, a phrase I came up with a couple years ago. Basically what one-stop shop means is if there's something you like about Couch Pilots, everything revolving around our universe is available at that website. There's Facebook, Twitter. Hopefully we deleted the Instagram. You can get links to all that shit.
Every episode is on there. You can search by just like keywords. If you put Mason in.
What's your favorite keyword?
Lime.
Key lime. All right. 910-PILOTS-1, 910-745-6871. Leave us a voicemail, or don't. I think most people have decided not to.
Yeah, I don't know why people don't leave. It's free.
I think what happens is when you're
on the top of your game,
when you have two people that listen to your show,
right?
And they listen from a different country and they don't want to call in because of costs, they won't call in, and then everyone else stop listening. Then you just don't get any more. That's it. You'd have no more.
That's true.
That's it.
That's very good. That was a very good analogy. That's exactly what happened.
Well, this pilot may have been rough, but it's always a smooth flight here on Couch Pilots. Thanks, everyone, and we'll see you next time.
We love you long time.
What's that mean when you say that? Like you're gonna have sex with them? Because that's what that means from that movie.
It just means, hey, I'll love you forever, listeners.
That was from that movie.
What the fuck is wrong
no,
with
it's
you?
from fucking Full Metal Jacket, and they find that Asian whore, and she's like,
How
"We
do you know
love
she's
you
a
long time."
whore?
Because she's selling her body on the streets.
That doesn't make her a whore.
Without a doubt,
She's just doing work.
That's what a whore does.
Maybe she has kids that she's trying to feed. You ever thought about that?
That's fine.
That doesn't make her a whore.
Well, it's like saying, "Hey, that guy who's putting out the fire over there, don't you dare for a second call him a firefighter." But that's exactly what the fuck he is. There's an Asian
He's
whore.
a fireman.
She says, "I love you long time," and she's a whore.
Yeah, no, it means maybe she saw him for the first time and was like, "Oh, this is the guy I love for a long time."